So I'm going to teach you what is called absolute value. Absolute value. All right. Absolute value is the distance from 0 to the number on a number line. Okay, so absolute value is the distance from 0 to the number on a number line. Hence, this is the reason why we've been asking you about distance on your homework and your do nows, because it's going to come into play with today's math. So absolute value is the distance from 0 to the number. Okay? It is written in the following way. It has these like oversized bars. They're called the absolute value bars, and then you have a number inside. Okay, so this is actually a math problem. This right here is a math problem. This math problem asks, what is the absolute value of 5? So you think to yourself, oh, let me write that down. What is the absolute value of 5? So we're going to write this down for the first one. Then you'll understand it hopefully later. So when you see these bars, they're longer than the actual number. They're called the absolute value bars. And this question is, what is the absolute value of 5? Okay? What does that mean? That means, okay, if I start at 0 and I go all the way to 5, what is the distance between 0 and 5? Yeah. Right? So here I show it, just showing you the work. I don't really expect you to do this for every single problem, but for the first one I do. So the first problem is like more detailed, so you see all of it. The next problems will obviously, we won't do the number line. I don't think we'll need the number line. I don't know. We'll see. So the absolute value of 5, and make the bars bigger than the number, so it doesn't look like 151, but it looks like, oh look, we have these bars here. The answer is 5. Because the distance from 0 to 5 is 5. Okay? And that's it. Easy? I hope so. So, the absolute value of 5 is 5. So, let's do a couple of examples. What is the absolute value of -3? So, if I start at 0 and go to -3, how many hops did I go? Okay, so we're going to draw the number line. We're going to have 0 right here, and then we're going to go to -1, -2, -3. How in the world is this 6? I have no idea. From 0 to your number, the definition is what's the distance from 0 to your number. So a 1 and a 2 and a 3 hops. So the absolute value of -3 is equal to 3. Can Mr. Chavez, Miss Caffrey, or Miss Gibson tell you to go run a negative mile? No. So when we're talking about a distance, your answer will always be positive. Just think like my PE teacher can't tell me to go run a negative lap. So when you're answering these questions, like I heard someone say, oh, it's -3. It's not. It's a distance. So I live 3 blocks away. I don't live -3 blocks away. I live 3 blocks away. No matter what direction you go to, your answer will be positive. All right. So let's do, what's the absolute value of 8? Make sure that your bars look bigger than your number. Okay. So you start at 0 and you go to 8. How many hops? 8. That's it. What's the absolute value of -10? 10. Is there such a thing as negative 10 miles? No. So because absolute value is distance, your answer will always be positive. Okay, let's write that down. A distance is always positive. And since absolute value is distance, our answers will always be positive, except for one time. But I need you to understand that, okay? Oh, let me give you a hard one. What's the absolute value of 1.5? Yeah, 1.5. Edwin, Mario, need anything, Mario? You good? All right. What's the absolute value of negative 1/2? 1/2. You're starting to see the pattern? So basically it's the number, whatever number is inside, you just write it. If the number is negative, the answer is positive. That's it. And it's very easy. Don't make it harder than what it is. The do nows, it's asking you like the distance between a number and a different number. This one, when you have the bars, is just what's the distance from 0 to that number. All right. Okay. Only time in absolute value is negative. Okay, I just told you that it's never ever negative, and this is the only time that it is negative. Are you ready to learn when is the time that it's negative? Are you ready? All right, let's see if you can spot the difference. This answer, this answer will be negative. Why? This negative is outside. Do you see how it's outside? This is when your answer is going to be negative. Okay? This gives you 11. Absolute value negative 11 is 11. But wait! There's a negative outside, so that means everything is negative. This is only time it's negative, when the negative is outside. Okay? Here's another example. What's the absolute value of 5? 5. And then there's a negative outside, but because there's a negative outside, your final answer is negative. Okay? This is the only time. When does this happen? Like 1% of the time. The rest of the time, your answers are always negative. Are we okay? Okay, this concludes the first part. I still got to teach you the second part, but this is like, do you understand this? Well, let's see if you do. Should take us 30 seconds to fill out. 30 seconds to fill out. I'll time you. Yeah, but don't start until everybody has a nice start. Don't be all cheating.
I'll start.
Of course you are.
I'm not trying to get time.
Yeah. Don't be cheating. All right. Okay, let's see. Timer. I'm going to do it too. Okay, I haven't started. What? Only when the negative is outside is your answer is negative. The rest of the time it's positive. Look at all those cheaters out there. Te digo. Over there. Oh, yeah, those cheaters over there. Okay, ready? I'm going to do it too. Set, go.
How is this part?
If you made it, great. If you didn't, great. No one, no prize at the end. All right. That's cool. Finish it up. Not all of them are negative, right? So be careful. Only the ones that have the negative outside. So number 10, your answer is positive 14, right? Number 10 is positive 14. But number 11, because the negative is outside, it equals a negative 8. Okay, so just double check that you didn't make a mistake because you went too fast. All right, any questions? Are we okay so far? Do we understand absolute value? So this is absolute value level 1. Super basic, like just what's the absolute value? Are we okay? Any questions? Fix your answers. All right. So we'll glue this in a little later. Now we're gonna do absolute value level 2. Level 2. Yeah, we will later. All right, here it is, level 2. No. So level 2 involves us doing math problems with absolute value. Now, do you see how each individual number has its own bars? So tomorrow it's going to be a little different, so pay attention. I'm not worried about the answer, I'm worried about you understanding the difference. So when it's individual numbers, because it's going to change tomorrow, when it's individual numbers, you just bring the numbers outside first. Or you drop down the numbers. So what's the absolute value of negative 4? 4 plus absolute value of 2? 2. And this equals 6. Okay? So Luis, we drop down the numbers. We take the absolute value number of each number. And that's it. Then you add. All right. What's the absolute value of negative 8 plus the absolute value of negative 7? Write this down. And you drop down the numbers. Absolute value of negative 8. 8 plus absolute value of negative 7. 7. 8 plus 7. No. 15. Careful, careful, careful. If we didn't have bars, what would our answer be? Negative 15, which is not nearly the same thing as positive 15. All right. What if I give you... Ooh, this one's hard. I love it. No, this is not hard. Absolute value of negative 7 minus the absolute value of negative 2. Make sure that your bars look bigger. All right. Take them out. If they're individual, you take them out. What's the absolute value of negative 7? 7. Bring down the minus. Absolute value of negative 2 is 2. 7 minus 2?
5.
5, you can do it. No need to change it. You're good. Make sense? But what if you have the absolute value of negative 3 minus absolute value of 10? No. Bring this number down. Absolute value of negative 3 is 3. Bring down the minus. Absolute value of 10 is 10. Then you realize, like, oh no, this is not a second grade problem. This makes Miss Somali kind of sad. Tanya, write this down. Everyone's writing this down. We're not just staring at it, you're actually writing it down. Participation. What do we got? Yep. Negative 7.
So it's rewriting too.
Yeah. It's, you know, the stuff we learned about 2-3 weeks ago about, you know, subtraction and multiplication and division and negative positive does come into play today and for like the rest of your math career. This is why it's so important. You will be doing this even when you're in college. This. So if you still don't understand, Tutoring. All right, let's do some multiplication. Absolute value of 9. 9. What's wrong, Luis?
Huh?
What's wrong?
I just saw like a dot right there.
Yeah, what does the dot mean?
Like a
It's fine. What's the absolute value of negative 4?
4.
All right, super hard. What's 9 times 4?
36.
36, and you're done. But what if it didn't have the bars? Our answer would be negative 36, right? So now with the bars, your answers change a lot. All right. I don't think I need to do another multiplication, right? Let's do a division.
yeah, division.
All right. Absolute value of negative 25 divided by the absolute value of negative 5. Yep. Write it down so you have it as an example. So if you have it tonight on your homework, you're like, oh yeah, it was super easy. I even did it in my head, but she's making me write it down because. 25 divided by 5? 5. Okay, so absolute value can be done with all of your operations. This concludes level 2. Tomorrow will be level 3.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's level 3?
The next level tomorrow will be the problem all in 1 bar.
This is my homework? Yeah, I'll finish my homework.
All right. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, everybody, focus on this worksheet.